Once again we see that the rotating blade thing really isn't all that great in a combat situation, but it's really good for non-combat uses like, I don't know, slaughtering an entire transport filled with civilians. I get the feeling we're starting to drift a little bit more away from the kids show thing, which I'm okay with, just... Meanwhile, we switch immediately to the comedy angle. Oh, yes, I've got to go and take care of the babies and blah, blah, blah. But I do have to admit, that baby Ithorian was actually really adorable. He's so cute. Anyways, one of the things I do like about this is how... Okay, for I think 5 or 6 different episodes so far, I've written down a note in my notes which literally just says, that poor droid. I've commented on this so many times about how droids are basically mistreated chattel when it comes to Star Wars. And this is a really good example of that. No, no, you can't come with us. You've got to be bait. 5 seconds later, we see the droid horribly butchered and killed. Great, great. That's awesome. Thanks, buddy. There's really something horribly insidious about this, too. Don't mistake me, I've never liked the fact that the Jedi separate children from their families, nor the undercurrent reason for doing so, but that at least was done under peaceful auspices. Okay, we're going to go ahead and work out with you, and you get to have some communication with your family until a certain point in time, and we're going to take care of your family, and it's done willingly, and blah, 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 blah. This is straight up kidnapping children in order to brainwash them in order to become future Inquisitors. That's messed up. On like every single level that exists. That is so many levels of wrong, it actually bothers me that it's a thing. I can't even, like, from a neutral, cold calculus perspective, try to justify it. I mean, well, if they're force sensitive, eventually they'll be a threat, and they should be dealt with when they're not a threat. No! Just no! Wrong! Terrible! Awful! God! Anyways. So you notice how, once again, when it comes to dealing with the 2 Inquisitors, the goal is not victory or defeating them, it is in fact avoidance. And what I like about that is this episode does something that we've already seen at the beginning of Season 2. It establishes the tiers. The Inquisitors are higher tier than the first Inquisitor, but they are still substantially lower tier than Vader, who effortlessly rolled over them, as I mentioned earlier. And then Ahsoka shows up and effortlessly rolls over the 2 Inquisitors. She rolls over them so effortlessly that she actually manages to disarm the one in mid-combat while unarmed, or rather, while her own sabers were not ignited, which was extremely awesome. To just say that as bluntly as I can. Just sweet. Also, the white lightsabers. For those of you not aware, my preferred lightsaber color has always been white or silver, so seeing hers was just like, yes. It probably helps that Ahsoka's my favorite character from Clone Wars, so that's a thing. The only thing that would have been more satisfying for me, because they shouldn't die yet. That should be a climax of something. The only thing that would have been more satisfying if they were permanently disfigured by this. This show likes that anyways. I mean, Ezra still has those scars on his cheek. Sabine had her change. You can do this sort of a thing. Why not have her, chop off one of their hands or slice up part of their face or something, some kind of disfigurement that would show up going forward to show how Ahsoka beat them. It would have been a nice little touch, I think. Still, this was a very satisfying episode. It had a little bit of cute, it had a little bit of comedy, and a little bit of awesome. And the whole thing was actually really dark. Just, oh my gosh. And of course the episode ends darkly, because now they have a lead on where they are and where they're going. And I have a feeling that's not going to turn out very well for them next time.